creatures. They dare steal from Galactus. For that, I will destroy their planet.
Galactus is a pretty big deal in the Marvel Universe. For starters, he devours planets to survive. Yeah, you heard that right. His ever-unsatiated hunger forces him to look for planets with sentient life so that he could consume them. But he doesn't do this out of malice. Instead, there's a larger purpose behind his actions. We'll get to that in a bit. Furthermore, he has got almost limitless godlike powers that are so immense that they can't even be measured. Even Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet against Galactus is like a mere mortal against Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet. Galactus can pretty much do whatever he wants with this cosmic energy, and has even been able to fight and defeat powerful beings like the Mad Celestials and Odin. In this video, we will explore the various aspects of the anatomy of this crazy godlike entity. So brace yourselves, for we are about to begin a cosmic ride. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. How was Galactus created from a cosmic egg? Well, to understand the basic physiology of Galactus, it is imminent that I take you through his history, how he was created, and how exactly did he become the sole survivor of an event that destroyed the sixth multiverse. So before all of this transpired, Galactus belonged to the planet called Ta, which was the previous incarnation of Earth 616, or the Prime Earth, if you will, and naturally the residents of Ta were humanoid in physiology. Born as Galen to a Ta'an superhero named Taya, he never really received the maternal love that a child deserves because of Taya's many responsibilities. Nevertheless, Galen was taken care of by a technologically advanced crib. The interesting thing about Ta was that the planet was a paradise-like planet whose denizens had achieved immeasurable greatness in the fields of science and art. However, the sixth multiverse was dying at the time Galen was born. In a matter of a few days, the multiverse would collapse under its own abysmal weight. Now, a lot of things that happen in the Marvel Universe are based on mythology from various parts of the world. Likewise, like all the universes in the multiverse, Galen's universe was a cosmic egg. The cosmic egg is an ancient concept found in various creation myths. It represents the origin of the universe, often depicted as an egg-shaped container from which the universe emerges, and it generally symbolizes creation, the birth of the universe, and the potential for new life and growth. So how does a cosmic egg function? Well, this primal sphere of compact, dense, and disorganized primordial matter undergoes a big bang, creating a universe of stars and planets that expands over billions of years until a tipping point called the crunch is achieved, after which the universe condenses over billions of years to plunge towards a central point where it collapses and forms a new cosmic egg. By the time Galen reached maturity and became a space explorer, Ta was the last planet with life on it, but the big crunch was destined to destroy Ta as well. Galen left his planet to explore the far reaches of space as a means to save his planet, but eventually everyone died until Galen and his small team of spacefarers remained. Galen asked his team to follow him on a path to seek the final answer that lay outside all space and time. This cosmic knowledge, this galactic utopia, lay inside the cosmic egg's very center, and the Tans flew their ship straight into it. While everyone else perished, Galen found that the sentience of the universe was speaking to him. The cosmic being tells him, "Though we both must die, we need not die without an heir. Come, surrender yourself to my fiery embrace, and let us become as one. Let our death throes serve as the birth pangs for a new form of life." So, that's how Galen merged with the sixth infinity's embodiment, the sentience of the cosmos, when the universe was about to end. This merger created a new entity, Galactus, the devourer of worlds, who would survive the renewal of the multiverse. After the cycle of renewal, the seventh cosmos emerged, giving birth to two new embodiments, Eternal and Infinity. On the other hand, Galactus ended up in the seventh universe, known as Earth 616.
You would refuse Galactus? Fortunate then, I have found...
Galactus looks like a human, but is that his real form? So, people often think of Galactus as a god-level evil entity that devours planets. However, in comics, Galactus is known and is portrayed as a crucial component of the universe rather than a malicious entity. According to the comics, Galactus consumes worlds because they serve as fuel for the next universe, rather than out of malice. However, this raises many questions about Galactus's appearance. Many wonder why a cosmic god, essential to the balance of reality, would resemble a human in purple armor? And that's a fair question to ask. You'd be surprised to know that this appearance is merely a representation and not an accurate depiction of what Galactus truly looks like. In Fantastic Four number 262, writer John Byron put all the confusion to rest by offering an explanation for why Galactus, a cosmic entity, has a humanoid appearance. The issue revolves around Reed Richards being put on trial by the Shi'ar Empire for once saving Galactus' life. During the trial, Galactus appears, and it is revealed that each alien race perceives him differently. This emphasizes his otherworldly nature and godlike status. And it completely makes sense. I mean, humans see him as a humanoid figure, while others see him as something else entirely. He has no one form and looks humanoid to humans because the artists draw him that way. Later in the comic, Galactus appears before the tribunal of cosmic beings to defend Reed Richards, who Galactus considers something of a friend. Galactus claims he is part of a larger plan in the universe and summons Eternity, the embodiment of all existence, to prove his point. Eternity supports Galactus' claim and reveals some of Galactus' secrets. The revelation is enough to convince everyone that Reed is innocent and the Fantastic Four are allowed to go free. 3. Galactus' body is made of energy, bones, organs, and blood. So when Gallant hatched from the cosmic egg, he transformed into Galactus, a being made entirely of pure energy known as the power cosmic. The energy is insanely powerful, and nobody really knows much about it except that it can't be tamed by even the strongest beings in the Marvel Universe. Galactus doesn't have control over the power cosmic, he is the power cosmic himself. He can even give parts of his energy to others, which is like him giving a piece of his own body to them. Galactus does have a physical form, but it's just a container for his insane power. He's gotta wear a blue and purple suit of armor to limit how much power he unleashes. But get this, the armor isn't meant to protect him, it's there to protect everything else from his destructive force. Galactus might be a baddie, but he's actually pretty heroic for making an armor that stops his power from wrecking the universe. It just shows that Galactus is one of the most powerful characters in the universe. If that armor ever breaks, the universe could get swallowed up by Galactus' insane power. But that's not all. In the Donny Cates run of Thor, the Asgardian becomes a cosmic god king and battles Galactus. In the second issue, Thor throws his Mjolnir at Galactus, which severs two of Galactus' fingers. Furthermore, you could see the blood and bones that Galactus' body comprises of. In the same issue, Thor also injures Galactus' leg using the mighty hammer. Later in issue 6 of the series, we see that Thor manages to kill Galactus. In the panel, one can see that Galactus' body is hit by Thor King's powers. The armor of Galactus leaves his body, revealing the inner skeletal structure. To sum up, it seems that Galactus' body is made up of the energies of over 100,000 devoured worlds, but it is also made up of basic human-like physiology, and as far as his appearance is concerned, it keeps changing with the beholder. Having said that, his true form was revealed in the comic titled Galactus the Devourer. After the Shi'ar and Earth's mightiest destroy his physical body, his true form is revealed to be a sentient star.
Object of great power, and it will take all your strength.
4. Why is Galactus always hungry? The Devourer of Worlds is notorious for his propensity to consume planets. He traverses the vast expanse of the universe in search of celestial bodies that can satiate his insatiable appetite and provide sustenance for his life force. However, the planets he seeks must possess a special attribute, the presence of life or the potential for sentient life to thrive in the future. I mean, he doesn't waste his time on dead rocks like Jupiter or Saturn, but no matter however much he eats, he is always hungry for life energy, which is what keeps him going, and you can always find him complaining about needing to eat. Galactus has put a lot of effort into creating helpers called heralds who search the universe for good eatable planets. The Silver Surfer is one of these heralds, and he's famous for bringing Galactus to Earth in a classic comic story. To aid him in his quest, Galactus has expended considerable energy creating and empowering heralds to scour the cosmos for suitable planets. The Silver Surfer is one of these heralds, and he's famous for bringing Galactus to Earth in the classic story arc explained between the pages of issues 48 through 50 of the Fantastic Four comics. Since then, Galactus has remained a formidable menace to the Marvel Universe, as his insatiable hunger compels him to consume entire worlds to sustain his life force. In fact, in Galactus the Devourer story arc, he became addicted to the life force of sentient beings instead of their planets. Galactus got so addicted to consuming the life forces of sentient beings that he stopped destroying the planets they lived on. But this only made him more desperate for for his next fix. He even created a new herald, Redshift, to help him find more life forces to consume. Galactus came back to Earth, but this time a group of superheroes fought him off while the Silver Surfer battled Redshift. Despite this setback, the Silver Surfer agreed to help Galactus again and took him to the Shi'ar Empire, hoping they could stop him. The Shi'ar teamed up with other races and Earth superheroes to take on Galactus in a massive battle. Can he heal himself and bring the dead back to life? Galactus is known for being able to fix himself up and recover from some serious damage. Even though he's been beat up a few times, he hardly ever gets completely taken down for good. Probably the most prominent example of this was seen during the Annihilation event. During Annihilus' quest to take over the universe, Galactus was attacked by two powerful proemial gods named Tenebraus and Aegis. For those of you who do not know, Annihilus is basically an interdimensional insectoid conqueror and tyrant. This left Galactus badly hurt, so much so that Thanos then captured Galactus along with the Silver Surfer and used them as weapons in Annihilus' war. Galactus was even used as a cosmic weapon capable of destroying whole planets. Annihilus' ultimate plan was to use Galactus to destroy all life forms in the universe, making him the only one left. However, Moondragon, Drax, and the Silver Surfer freed Galactus, and he unleashed a massive blast that wiped out most of the Annihilation wave and stopped the war. This even vaporized a Watcher and forced the remaining warring parties to form a truce. In Annihilation, Galactus was hooked up to a machine by Annihilus and Thanos that drained his power, leaving him weak and almost lifeless. But once he was freed, he bounced back from the brink of death with an amazing ability to heal himself. In fact, he died even during the addiction event, which led to the creation of a bigger horror named Abraxas. But that is a story for another time. Furthermore, once upon a time, Galactus used his abilities to bring a soul back to life by giving it a new body. Clearly, his godlike powers are the result of the Power Cosmic, which gives him quite a few other abilities, including but not limited to abilities like matter manipulation and teleportation. How tall is Galactus? Well, Galactus devours planets, so he's gotta be big. Mighty damn big, but just how much? Before I answer that, I'd like to mention here that this dude can change his size at will, and the smallest he's been is the size of an Asgardian giant. In this size, he stands at an awesome aspiring height of at least 28 feet or 8.5 meters. That's taller than a two-story building, and dwarfing even the likes of Hulk or Thor in comparison. I mean, he was able to hold Thanos in his palm. To put it in perspective, imagine standing next to an NBA basketball hoop. Galactus would tower over it with ease. But that's just phase 1. Galactus can change his size to equal the heights of skyscrapers, and sometimes his height could even be the length of an entire country. And yet, he is not big enough to devour planets, right? Well, in a few comics, he has been depicted as holding huge planets in his palm, and at other times, a planet is almost half the size of his head. Since Galactus is largely humanoid, we can get a vague idea of how tall he could be. For this, we'd use Jupiter as an example, whose diameter is around 140,000 kilometers. Now, an average person is generally 7.5 heads tall, including the head. If his head is double the size of a planet, that's Jupiter. One head means 2 Jupiters, and 7.5 heads means 15 Jupiters. So the diameter of 15 Jupiters would be 2.1 million kilometers. To put this in perspective, if 1 kilometer, 2.1 million seconds would be over 24 days. When Galactus grows to such immense sizes, his mere presence can cause gravitational disturbances and other catastrophic events, making him a force to be reckoned with. And with his insatiable hunger for planets, he can bring entire civilizations to their knees with just the flick of his finger. He can eat celestial beings. Galactus isn't just a planet eater, he's a living entity eater. He can consume anything that's alive in the universe, even stuff you'd think was off limits. In one tale, 7 elders of the universe tried to off him to start a new Big Bang, and they thought they'd survive the end of the universe and become Galacti with crazy cosmic powers. But luckily, Galactus' ex-herald the Silver Surfer, along with the Fantastic Four, Franklin Richards, and his current herald, Nova, messed up their machinations and saved the day. And anyway, Galactus wasn't about to go quietly, so he chomped 5 of them down. But that gave him a tummy ache, so he spit them back out and restored them to life. He probably could have dealt with the discomfort if he wanted to, but oh well, that just goes to show that he's capable of eating a celestial or any other cosmic being that tries to stand in his way. Can Galactus reproduce? Okay, so we have heard a lot about Galactus in the comics, right? But did you know this ever-hungry planet monster has a daughter named Galacta? And get this, she's got no mom. Apparently, Galactus can give birth to another cosmic powerhouse without needing a partner. Well, she's Galactus's teenage daughter. She just showed up in the second issue of Marvel Assistant Size Spectacular. At first glance, she shows like a regular human girl named Gali living on Earth. But don't be fooled, she's got cosmic powers just like her dad. The only difference is that while Galactus is all about the endless hunger and raging impulses, but Galacta tries to control her impulses and channel her hunger towards doing good in the universe. She's also not shy about criticizing her father, and has some serious daddy issues. Unlike him, Galacta has a love for all creatures and wants to help them, not wipe them out. She's even used her powers to cure human diseases caused by alien pathogens. But even though she's got all this power, she's come to appreciate human culture and wants to live among us. It's a risky move since she could be a danger to us, but she's doing her best to control her hunger and use her powers for good. As far as her powers are concerned, Galacta can affect the universe itself. Like father, like daughter, I guess. She can suck out someone's powers and use them to her advantage. For example, she once thought about extracting Wolverine's healing factor and using it for herself. She even thinks celestial technology is kind of shoddy. So to sum it up, Galacta has all the power of her dear old single father, but she's just not a copycat. She's creative and can use her abilities in unique ways. If she wanted to, she could be one of the most powerful beings in Marvel. It's really disheartening that Galacta only made 2 comic appearances, with the single one just expanding on the original story in the digital first series and print one-shot Galacta, Daughter of Galactus. In the story, Galacta discovers a parasite inside her body that's making her constantly hungry. She goes to the Fantastic Four for help, but ends up stealing the ultimate nullifier, the only thing that Galactus himself fears. Naturally, Galactus shows up and reveals that Galacta is actually pregnant, not infected. But the question is, how? Unfortunately, it was never explained, and it's a shame that we haven't seen more of Galacta, as she's a fun addition to Marvel Universe. A young, optimistic version of Galactus could be used in so many ways, but right now, we're missing out on all the possibilities. The Marvel Universe will be a little less weird until she comes back. He has an enormous tentacled eyeball. Before I get into this, have you heard about Marvel's Mangaverse? Well, brace yourself if you haven't. So it was a comic book series from Marvel that gave Marvel characters and stories a Japanese manga twist. With its inception in 2002, it features characters like Spider-Man, the X-Men, the Avengers, and the Fantastic Four, but drawn in a manga-inspired art style. I mean, in one of those story arcs, Wolverine was a samurai warrior. The response was mixed, but Marvel's Mangaverse was something very cool. So coming back to the star of this video, even Galactus was a part of the Mangaverse, and naturally, Galactus was given the trademark manga anatomy with tentacles and all that. Unlike his traditional humanoid form, this interpretation of Galactus takes the form of a living planet with a massive tentacled eyeball. In this universe, Galactus consumes entire worlds by swallowing them whole, in contrast to draining their life force. The scale of his anatomy raises questions about how he is capable of ingesting entire planets with his massive eye, but I guess Marvel wanted to leave much of it to the reader's imagination. What happened when Galactus used the Infinity Stones? So we know that Galactus has been the devourer of worlds and all that, right? But the fact remains that this dude doesn't destroy civilizations out of malice or ill will. He only wants to survive, and more importantly, his survival is important for the creation of new life and new universes. But somewhere along the line, he has always felt sorry about the way he destroys billions of life in a flick. So in Thanos number 4, Thanos found out that Galactus wanted to stop being the devourer of worlds and instead use the Infinity Stones to end his hunger. Thanos wasn't totally against this idea, but he sensed that someone was messing with Galactus's plan. He tried to warn him, but Galactus didn't listen and ended up unleashing a scary monster called Hunger. Thanos managed to defeat Hunger with the Soul Stone and sent the stones far away. Galactus wanted to do good, but he didn't realize the danger of using the stones. Thanos made sure he knew that there's always a price to pay for using them. Can Galactus be killed? Although Galactus is the big bad monster and almost nothing can stop him, there is one thing that he truly fears. It is called the Ultimate Nullifier. The Ultimate Nullifier is the most dangerous weapon in the universe, or at least that was the case until the Infinity Gauntlet made its appearance. Whoever wields it can completely erase anything they want, even breaking the law of conservation of mass. But if the person using it isn't strong enough, the nullifier can end up destroying them instead. It all depends on the user's focus, knowledge, and mindset. The weapon has this remarkable ability to modify reality based on the user's will. With a simple thought, the user could potentially reshape the entire universe, removing entities such as Galactus from existence. It is not constrained by time or the actions of a single universe within the multiverse. When Galactus threatened Earth's future, Johnny Storm got the ultimate nullifier from Galactus' home on Ta under the guidance of Uatu the Watcher. This small metallic device was the only thing in the universe that could scare Galactus himself. The Fantastic Four wanted it as a last resort against Galactus if he tried to destroy Earth. When Galactus did show up to chow down on Earth, Reed Richards threatened to use the ultimate nullifier. Galactus knew he couldn't mess with the nullifier and withdrew, saving Earth from certain destruction. However, later Galactus got hold of the nullifier, and he keeps it in his world ship. Sometimes he brings it on his starship instead. But here are the other ways of killing Galactus. For instance, if someone continuously destroys planets before Galactus can devour them, he would go crazy out of hunger and ultimately starve to death. Furthermore, he is somewhat vulnerable to a few forms of magic, so that's that. So that was Galactus for you. Although one may see him as evil, we believe he's beyond the concepts of evil and good. The sheer magnitude of power that he houses within himself is enough to destroy way more worlds than he already has. But thankfully, Galactus doesn't like to overeat. Having said that, his regular appetite has been a universal menace. We are not really sure if we'll ever get to see this guy in movies. And even if we do, it would be interesting to see how exactly Marvel brings him to life on a screen. With that said, please leave your suggestions, questions, and corrections in the comments section below, and we would be happy to check them out. If you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.
Object of great power, and it will take all your strength